Man, it's a beautiful day in Austin, Texas. My name is Sam. I'm a trainer in the Round Rock area. I'm a trainer and nutrition coach. So today, friends, I really want to talk into something that I believe is not only necessary when it comes to your goals, not only necessary when it comes to reaching your full potential, because this is one thing. If you do this, you become limitless in every area of your life. So today I want to talk about changing your expectations for yourself. Yes, changing your expectations for better, changing your expectations, changing expectations to realizing that you can succeed. Because I want to share a quote with you. The quote says, when you raise your expectations and you strive for excellence, you reach your full potential. Now I want you to ask yourself that day, to that question today. Are you is your expectation high for yourself? Or is your expectation limited by the expectations of others? Because I believe you can change when you change your expectations. Yes, when you change your expectations for yourself, you can change in every area of your life. And so I'm going to give you a framework today. Yes, three letters can, because I believe you not only can change your life, that when you do, when you raise that expectation of your life, everything changes. So hey, friend, my friend, each C A N. Yeah, framework, because I realized when it came to the expectations that I had for myself, I realized that many times I was just reaching. I want you to think about the expectations that you have for yourself, because you're really kind of basing my expectation on what the other person expect me to do, right? Just like when it comes to your job, your tells that I am supposed to do this because this is what I'm paid for. And the bar that I'm looking to meet is the bar that others have set for me, right? Maybe you find yourself in a place where, Sam, I'm looking to do more in my life. I'm looking to strive, but I find myself always gauging myself on the expectation of others. You know, I was working in a job and for the state, and they remember them always saying, "Exceed expectations." See, there was, and when it came to your yearly, this is a good time to do that for you. Look at the expectations that you've set for yourself at the beginning of this year and gauge yourself. Did I meet my expectations or did I beat it? Right? Are you meeting the expectations for your life, or are you beating the expectations for your life? Which is C, and it's going to demand courage. I believe if you wanted to exceed the expectations or raise the expectations that you have for yourself, it's going to take courage. It's going to take courage. It's going to take you deciding that, realize that I can do more. And that's a courageous act. When you say that I can do more, that is courage to decide that I'm going to give more than I ever have before. So I want you to think about this when it comes to today. For many times in my life, in my life, I've always thought it was something you were born with, right? And they put their gear on, and they go straight for the goal. And I realized I didn't have a lot of confidence, and I got to be very honest. I didn't have a lot of confidence. I didn't have a lot of courage. And I really want to say that C is for courage. And because I believe courage and confidence are really that same thing, and they really intertwine into what you're going to achieve and how you limit yourself. Because I realized that courage isn't something you're born with, which I always thought. But I want to share a story with you about one of my favorite stories from my favorite book is David and Goliath. Now, many times we already know how that story ends. And if you don't, it's kind of a young teenage child defeats this giant, This giant Philistine, I mean, he's 10 foot tall, has armor that no one can lift, and a sword that took two people to carry. So this guy is just a giant. And he defeats this giant. And everybody's like, man, David, you had all this courage. How did you do it? But I like the really, when it really dived deep into that story, I feel like the little parts are always left out. You see, because before David fought the giant, he was a shepherd. Now, when he was a shepherd, his job as a shepherd in that time was to protect the sheep. And I don't know about you, but if you look at sheep, they don't have horns or rams. So those animals are almost the most defenseless animals. I mean, the only thing I feel like that can save a sheep is probably their really, really thick fur, because maybe you just get a mouthful of that instead of actually getting a full grip on them. But if you look at a sheep, it's not the most aggressive animal. So his job as a teenager was to protect these sheep. And I really love this story because when it came to building his courage for that moment for him to shine and have the courage to step outside of his zone and raise the expectations for himself, it really started with his first challenge. See, the book talks about that first challenge is the wolves came, right? And David was using his abilities. He used a slingshot, and he first struck down the wolf, right? So the wolf came to attack his sheep, and he, attacked the sheep, was able to defend his sheep from the wolf. And then the next challenge came. The next challenge was a bear. The bear came after his sheep, and he protected his sheep from the bear. So I want you to think about those moments in your life that you're really like, Sam, I want to build the courage. I want to build my confidence, and realize, are you giving yourself the opportunity to challenge yourself to not only push past those situations where the challenge comes, but realizing that those challenges are actually opportunities of growth? Because I believe that when David fought the wolves with the bear, because then the lion came. The lion, what is the lion here? We call the lion the king of the jungle, right? And imagine that. Imagine being he's a teen, at least he's like 16, 15, 17. Let's say he's a teenager, but you are not only protecting your food source, because sheep give you clothing. I imagine they traded it for wool, but this was probably a massive food source for them. And knowing that I could defeat the lion, I could defeat the wolf, I could defeat the bear. I want you to look at the wolf, the bear, and the challenge that you faced in your life. And I want you to ask yourself, am I running from the challenges? Because I believe that the challenge of life, the challenge, the times you step up, the times you step outside of your comfort zone and you rise to the occasion, are the times you raise your expectations. Because I believe that at that moment, each challenge that David overcame, each challenge that David accepted, each challenge that he showed up and he took action, his expectations rise. So I want you to look at those challenges. I want you to look at, maybe find the wolves in your life, the bears, the times people told you couldn't accomplish anything, the people that maybe told you can't do this. Maybe the times where somebody did never anything. And you said no. You said, I'm going to step up. I'm going to take action, and I'm going to exceed not only their expectation, but the expectation that I have for myself. So we're going to go into my next key to not only changing your expectations for yourself, but raising it. It's going to have to take action. Because just like that story, David, see, he not only had the wolf come to attack his sheep, he not only had the bear come to attack his sheep, but he decided at that moment, I'm not going to run. I'm going to take action. Because I believe that not only did that action increase his courage, but that action increases expectation for himself. And I want you to think about the challenges. Maybe it's the nutrition challenges. Maybe it's coming to my fitness goals. Maybe it's just coming to that goal that you've set after year and it hasn't happened for you. And I want you to ask yourself, are you running from it or are you running to it? Because I believe that everything changed for David, his expectations to change because he knew that he had the courage to take on the wolf. And when he built that courage and it raised an expectation for him, he realized if I could take on the bear, what's next? What can hold me if I can take on the bear? So when the lion came, he not only was ready, but he was willing and he was able because his expectation was so high because he knew I could take out the wolf, I could take down the bear. So when the lion came, I was ready. When the giant came, he was ready. And because the big thing I love about that story is that when they looked at him, no one had expectation that he could take this challenge on. Because I really believe that this story is that one of my favorite stories for this reason is that I want you to look at the people in your life. Look at their expectations for you. Because when I came into this realm of wanting to be an entrepreneur, people were like, "What? You? You? What? The guy who's worked 10 years at this job want to quit a job that has benefits?" And I want you to look at the expectations you have for yourself. Because David, in that moment, when no one had the expectations, it was the courage that he built by taking action that got him to that next level, right? So I want you to ask yourself, am I exceeding others' expectations? Because I believe when your expectations match everybody else's, you're doing yourself a disservice. Because not only do you know you can do more, but you deserve more. And the only person that can get you there truly is you. I want to go into my last key. Now that we have the courage because we're taking the action, now it's time to be a no matter what person. Because I believe when he came into that situation, he had to say, no matter what, I'm going to do what it takes to not only raise my expectations, but to get my goal. Because there's going to come a time where you're not going to have the courage. You're not going to know what action to take. But it's going to come down to you having the mindset that I'm no matter what, I am here for a reason and I'm here to change my life. Right? Because no one else can do that for you but you. So when it comes to having a no matter what attitude, now that I have that courage because I've faced a challenge, now that I've taken that action because I said I will take no for an answer, and I realize that I'm going to be a no matter what person when it comes to my goal, that's the mindset where everything changes. Because when you have the courage and you're willing to take action and you have a no matter what can stop you? When other people have the expectation that you couldn't do this, you're too young. David had every single excuse in the book of why people said he couldn't do it. Now, I want you to look at yourself. Maybe you're facing something, like maybe you're on a weight loss journey and somebody is telling you, hey, you've said this same goal 4 years in a row. What makes you think that it could happen for you? Maybe somebody said, hey, you said you're going to change your diet and I haven't seen you change at all. Maybe somebody's like, we have a history of overweight people in our family. What makes you think you're going to be any different? Because I believe that many times we accept other people's expectations that we didn't even set an expectation for ourselves. So what you've done is you just accepted what everyone else is giving you when when you're worth, when you are so much more, right? Because I believe it's such a disservice if your expectations match the expectations of others have for you. It's not true. It's not true. You can do more. You deserve more. You can be more. Your goals matter. So it's time to change your expectations for yourself. It's time to have courage. It's time to take action. And it's time to be a no matter what person so you can change your life. Because everything changes when you decide to change. Everything changes when you raise your level of expectation. Everything changes when you show up and decide to be enough when it comes to your goal. All right, here, friends. Hey, hope you found some value in that because I know I did too. I believe that everything changes when you decide to change. So go out there, raise your level of expectations, raise the bar that anyone has ever set for you. Realize that even the greats were limited by others' expectations. But it's time for you to step up, step out, and exceed exactly where you want to be. All right, here, friends, I'm super thankful for you. Hey, I hope that you're finding some value from these. You are simply amazing. And I'm super thankful just for you. I'm simply thankful for you being a part of this journey. We're on this mission to change lives. And I'm so glad and thankful that I get to do it with you. Take care.